So, in a nutshell, so we are fairly new, a new chapter, but in a nutshell, I will explain who we are, what have we done so far, and what are we working on with some thoughts around. So, we are, for the ones that don't know, I've already explained this. We used to be an Iberian chapter with our friends and neighbors and brother in arms, Sergio from Spain, that started with Pedro Maló, a Portuguese guy that also created this Iberian chapter. But unfortunately, in 2009, it need to finish. And Spain regained the chapter by themselves on 2012. And we, Portugal, we took 10 years longer, and only in 2022 we have managed to create it. It was a huge moment because that was the moment where we could join and gather money and people and will, but it was so impressed the adhesion, all the people, all the members, all the institutions, all the authorities that immediately decided to step on the buildingSMART, on the chapter of buildingSMART Portugal, which was very extremely fulfilling for us that were struggling to this. We created with this mission, or I don't know what call it, goal, scope, enabling maximum benefit through digital working methods in the construction asset industry. And three main goals. First one, to monitor and participate in the digitalization of construction. That is a must here in Portugal. To access and disseminate the latest developments in open BIM, which is something still that we still need to do, and contribute to increase the digital maturity of the sector and to promote public procurement. Of course, the public procurement and the private procurement, but the public procurement, it's extremely powerful in pushing all the others, and the private go after it. So we try to create these ideas. The pillars of buildingSMART Portugal are extremely important because we have had, of course, as everyone, problems. We have had moments of some doubts. So when we have those moments, we come back to these pillars, and we decided upon what we have here. And here is the first one is interoperability. So we share things. We share things under a common layer, let's say, and that is being collaborative, but could also be integration, could also be communication. So the interoperability pillar is where we exchange things when we communicate the same language. Then we have the open pillar, not only open as open source, giving everyone opportunity to be there, but also open to everything that we produce with our effort, with our team, is immediately open to all the market. Okay, we don't sell any information. And of course, when you are open, you are reliable because people can see, can ask, can see everything that is being created. Nothing is hidden behind. Then we need to be relevant. People need to respect us as being that we are doing significant work to develop this industry. But of course, relevancy also needs to be flexible because we have such a huge different spectrum of people working, of companies working, of roles. So we need to respond to all these needs and intentions, which is very important. And non-for-profit. Non-for-profit, because of course we are an association, an industrial association, an association of companies, an association of institutions. So we can't afford or can't allow that people think that one or other company inside buildingSMART is taking any advantage of this. So we need to be non-for-profit, but of course sustainable as well. We accepted members in 5 areas: design and consultancy, construction and products, property and management, the owners, let's say, and the operators, technology, and training, education, and research, like universities, for instance. And from the beginning, we decided these fees that we think that are appropriate for our level in Portugal. Companies pay from 100 euros to 1,000 euros per year, depending on the number of collaborators. So 1 to 3, 100 euros, more than 200,000. Technology companies, software and hardware, depending on the turnover, from 400 to 1,000 if they have more than 3 million per year. Institutions, we decided not to have fees with them because here in Portugal it's so hard for you to buy a pencil on a public procurement. That is, we rather prefer to have these huge names, huge market mobilizers with us and don't pay anything, than trying to have something from them. Professional associations, midterm, they are rich associations, but we decided to put a fairly low fee. And individual professionals, 50 euros per year, and students, 10 euros per year. And we are so glad that in this January, we have more than 218 members distributed for companies, technology, institutions, professionals, and students. Okay, more or less half. So we have about 100 individuals and 100 collective institutions. So that's what we have. The logos probably don't say anything to any one of you, but they are divided by design, the first ones. All the design, the main designers in Portugal and consultants in BIM as well are here. Construction, like for instance, Mota Ingil, and large contractors, are all of them are here. Owners, some of important owners in Portugal, like for instance Lisbon City, for other cities, metro from Porto, one of the major real estates, etc. Technology, some technology companies, and all the universities, all the global institutions, which is so important for us because proves to others that we are reliable and people is betting on us. Not trying to bore you with this, but the governance is so important. And here on the left corner, you can see the 4 levels that we have. We have a deliberative level, executive level, advisory level, and supervising level. And on the deliberative, the main one is the board. We created the board, and we have helping the board a steering council of 10 members, 2 for each one of the 5 areas that we decided, 2 designers, 2 contractors, etc. We realized that people don't have time. So this has been an effort for us. So we decided to create an executive committee, shorter. This executive committee have meetings every week, tries to put things, and the board have meetings each month, and the steering council each 3 months. So we are trying to do things on this orange level. Then we have the strategic council where we get advisory from them. And finally, the General Assembly, that is the unanimous, let's say, it can decide, it can do everything that they want. Our direction is in these ends. And of course, the Fiscal Council that verifies the accountability. We created an action plan and we divided the Building Smart Portugal in 4 main areas, like a company, okay? We have the marketing, the commercial, and the technical. And when we look at the marketing is we speak to the marketing, we explain to the market what we are doing. We put an outdoor, we announce on the television, whatever, it's marketing. We make an event, it's marketing. We publish, it's marketing. And then from that marketing, like in companies, someone is interested in us. It's appear a lead, and the lead could be a member that can be associated with us, can be a sponsor, but also can be the government, also can be institutional relations that we don't get money from it, but we will get important. So that's why we sell, we make our contract, our sale is made there. So sometimes we call it commercial, sometimes we call it contacts, because we are a non-for-profit association. And then we go to the technical part where we create the product, and with this product, we deliver to the market again. So this is how we decided to do it. And of course, we have a support gray area that is all the area that we need to have internal work. So in the marketing, we have social networks, publications, events. In the commercial, members, sponsors, institutional relations. In the technical, we divided by groups that work forever. For instance, a certification is something that will stay forever, and projects that are defined in time. They start and they have end, so they are defined in time. So what have we done so far? Of course, we have
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. We have a website where you can find all the information. Of course, it is in Portuguese, and we launched this website. It's an important mean of communication, of course. Sorry, it's not working. Yes. And dividing in these 3 areas that I spoke: marketing, commercial or contacts, and technical. In marketing, we have, of course, published a lot in social networks. We have here LinkedIn and Facebook. We have created a newsletter. We have launched 3 issues of the newsletter, and we are just launching another one. And we are publishing in magazines and publishing in main communication means. Of course, we are participating in the summits, and we are each time having more people working with us. It was an incredible team, or committee of 19 people for Portugal that were in Rome. Now in Valencia, we made a strong effort to have again a huge committee. We won't probably reach the 19, but we will have a large group there as well, which is very good for us. And we have events that we launched. For instance, we had an event here. You can, on the right top corner, you can see Ian in Lisbon presenting on an important event, presenting Building Smart International Strategy. Master classes, for instance, Peter Powers and Leon Berbero, among others. We have had webinars that have been very appreciated and people is liking what we have presented. We are always doing something for people to gain something, to go home with something in hands. And we have had a buildingSMART day, a tech day. We had Enzo and we have Sergio Munoz as our foreign VTs. Thank you again for being with us. It was very important. And we have participated on a strong way on the first Woman in BIM event, among others as well. Sorry. And also the participation in some conferences and the dissemination. I can see here on the bottom participation on one of the major regional associations related with the government, where we fill up with 600 people from all over the city councils from the north of Portugal. So we have been doing more and more and participating more and more in conferences, disseminating what is BIM and Open BIM. On the contacts area, in the commercial area, we have had national contacts and international contacts. National contacts with a government level, on the local authorities like city authorities, but also regional authorities, with members and companies, large companies that are asking us to go there and to speak with them, to explain what they can do, what they can improve with it, and a lot with universities. At an international level, we have had relations with chapters. European Open BIM Forum is only one of the examples, but a very strong commitment with Brazil, with Spain, of course. So we have had some international relations as well. On our technical, I will show some of this in a minute, but we have, of course, grown in professional certification. We have created interest by the domains, participating in Digital X, in GaiaX project, and writing white papers and translations. That's what you can see in these images. And we have had a strong participation in the standardization in Portugal. So we have had the participation now national, that is CT 197, national commission that is mirroring what is being done in SAN, and of course also in ISO. And we have launched all of this with this. It's the first one, it's been in local city authorities. The second one, it was a BEP that was created, and it's an example of BEP for people to follow up. The third one is the translation of ISO 19650. The fourth one is a hiring guide, a tendering guide. How should I contract BIM if I want? And in the bottom, on the left side, it's the PDTs.pt, so product data templates.pt, related with Portugal, where you can upload your products on a specific and regulated way and formatted way. And also a classification system that we made in Portugal based on Uniclass and extended for sustainability. And the least, but the most, was we managed, after years of working, that the government mandated BIM in Portugal. So the last 8th of January, the government mandated BIM with this map, with this roadmap, when the three main dates are in January 26. It will be mandatory for all the city councils, 308 in Portugal, to upload the projects in a platform where the model in IFC will be uploaded in this platform. In the end of in 2027, it will start some pilot projects only licensing in BIM. And from 2030 onward, all the projects, all the constructions in Portugal will need to be licensed in BIM. This is so important. And to finish, what are we doing now? Of course, we have increased our action plan in these 4 areas. We have things that are already done in green and others that we are working on it in blue. I won't bother you on this, but for instance, internally, we have hired assistant, which is extremely hard for us because it costs money and we need to be with it. So we are trying to put things together, and our macro assessment internal is that we have carried the activities more than expected, and we have produced contents more than expected. It's what people is saying about us. And of course, we are struggling with the lack of financial resources and workforce. That's our bottleneck, okay? And what is our purpose? Our purpose is to put a vehicle called buildingSMART Portugal running. Of course, we have wheels, we have engine, but it's not still going by itself. So we are setting up processes, training human resources, and acquiring tools and infrastructures to have a sustainable business model on a way that we can produce even further. And we are really now trying and being able to influence government. And I will present some examples. The first example is this one. We have managed, I don't know, just in a nutshell, Portugal will be in elections this next Sunday, okay? So we have a government that finishes in last November. So we managed to, 3 weeks ago, that this actual government put on the agenda, and it is in a transition process, so it will be law for the next government, the need for BIM, okay? The new legislation, this mandate. And we've managed to do that with 3 ministries, the Justice, the Buildings and Modernization. Others like Education, etc. will come over, but it's extremely complex to put inside the state people speaking with each other. For instance, only the Minister of Justice has about 1,200 assets to manage, and they put it in the law, the open formats and the IFC at a certain point, despite we must understand that they are on a technical level, that it's not what we want, of course, but the political will is there, which is so important that it is being put in the law. And also we are participating in this platform, working in this platform. Influencing the government, influencing the market. 3 examples. First one, we've created an EIR, Exchange Information Requirements. We have worked 1 year with about 30 people from different areas, owners, designers, contractors, government, local authorities, and we produce this document that is a sample, a complete sample of a specific building, 5 stories in Lisbon, and you will have an example how you should write a complete EIR accordingly to ISO 19650. This is needed by the market, and market is asking for this, and we are delivering it. We will have televisions. We will try to have televisions on this, and we will make a specific layout for this. It will come immediately after this new government take over. We will come with that. We are also pushing for the domain areas, and we thank Richard Kelly that made a video for our last huge meeting, and we are trying to disseminate this among all these 10 and more. For instance, we are struggling a lot with health and safety that we still don't have in buildingSMART, but we need to address it, like the 6th part of ISO 19650 and etc. And of course, picking up the market, the companies, and having them participating with us. and in several projects, namely in the summits, but also in other projects, they are doing that. And to finish, influencing professionals. We are doing that with engineers and architect national associations, and we are disseminating, explaining what is that thing of BIM, what is that thing of open BIM, and how buildingSMART can help them, and why should they be in buildingSMART. We are launching a podcast right now. We already have dozens of episodes ready to be recorded. And we think that we are pushing that. Professional certification, with the help of Spain that started with us in English, we now have about 100 certified professionals. We have 3 training providers. One is running and 2 more about to run. And to finish, international collaborations. And I will only show the last one, that is the IFC translation, that we mobilized the community, Portugal and Brazil. We created a translation guide, and immediately appeared 120 people, 42 from Portugal and 80 from Brazil, divided in red, on the left side, in red translators, in green specialists, and in 2 proofreaders. And on Brazil as well, in yellow translators and green specialists. We have divided it in 3 stages. First stage, we divided accordingly to the number of people, some domains IFC to Portugal and the others to Brazil. We translate in our own dialects, and then we exchange. The Portuguese are for the Brazilians, and then we do the general review. And if you can see on this, more or less half of the work is done right now. And on the right, we have the automatic acceptance of this translation was more or less only 25%. All the rest, we decided to make changes. We created a translation guide. We have done a masterclass explaining what IFC is, and we have been very active in meetings and in chat group. And please be invited to be in PTBIM, that is our national conference, 8 to 10 of May. It will be in Portuguese and some presentations in English. And thank you so much, Aidan.